Hello traders, so welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 191. You know what we're going to be doing in this video, having a look at the market, how it developed this week, what kind of opportunities we had, and most importantly try to throw a little bit of a forecast of what could happen next week. But again, as I always say, it's not about what is going to happen next, but it's all about how are you going to adapt to what is actually happening right now. So this week, as we're going to see, was actually pretty choppy. We did not have any moves. I only took one trade this week, but luckily it was a whim that put an end to my losing streak, which is amazing. Covered some of the losses I had. And yeah, so April so far has been pretty choppy, as we're going to explore, right, if we have a look at the weekly candles. But again, we keep striking, we keep showing up, and over the long term, we're definitely going to win. So hopefully you had an amazing week. Let me know how you did in the comments. If you're new to this channel, it's all about trading. I share these weekly outlook and setups every Saturday, and once per week I give my best to share an educational piece of content or a trading setups breakdown video if I have some good trades. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell in order not to miss when a video comes out. And if you already did this, amazing. Let's right now head into the video. Alright, as always, we're gonna get started with a dollar, see what we're gonna be having next week in terms of the direction of the main kind of currency that we're trading, the majority of us. But first of all, let's have a look at the economic calendar. Again, we always have to start with this. As you can see, Monday, bank holiday for New Zealand and Australia. Tuesday, bank holiday for Italy, but that will definitely not affect the market much. Wednesday, CPI for the Aussie. And then we have durable goods, some major news right there. Then GDP for the US, which is very important. And then we have interest rate decision, monetary policy, and press conference for JPY. Okay, so the yen is going to be moving this week. And then we also have GDP for the Eurozone. So pretty much this week we have GDP US, GDP EU, but they both happen like towards the end of the week. So again, what we can expect in the first kind of part of the week is maybe some clean markets, maybe some consolidations. But again, if we can catch like a couple of good day trades, that's all we need. So in terms of news, that's what we have to worry about next week is on Thursday and Friday. So onto the charts. First thing that I always explore is, again, I zoom in and I have a look at the weekly candle. What does the weekly candle tell me about how the week played out this week and what we can expect for the upcoming? Well, this week, I mean, look at this tiny candle. I mean, we didn't do much, okay? It's an inside bar. So when we have an inside bar, I always tend to draw the high and the low of the mother candle, right? And then potentially expect a breakout. So again, what makes sense right now? Are we going to go up? Are we going to go down? Well, as you can see, last week, we came on and we actually made a, oops, what did I do? We actually made kind of a weekly little structure break, which is kind of very tiny, but we actually broke below this major weekly low. And what happens when we take out a major low? Well, we initiate a pullback. Okay, so I was expecting a pullback this week, but again, you can see we just had this tiny little candle. So something is cooking. Okay, something is cooking. Then if you drop to the daily time frame, again, we can see this little sweep right there clearly. It's very small, but it's still there, and you can see we just swept it, and then the market printed a bullish engulfing candle. Okay, so just again to recap, the daily time frame is still bearish. That's the supply. But if you have a look at this week, the only move we made was on Monday, a nice bullish day. And then actually, if you actually have a look, wow, this is insane. I didn't see this because I don't stay on the daily too much. All right, you can see the daily has Monday as the mother candle, and every single day afterwards it's an inside bar. So guys, the market is cooking for something. Be careful, because again, if I just drop on the FOIC, what we have right now is a pure consolidation, right? Pure consolidation. So we have, if we just look at structure, I mean, we had this trend change right there on the FOIC, right? So then our major low is here, and then since then we haven't had any other lows. So technically right now on the FOIC, we're kind of still trading between this low and this high. So I would definitely expect for the market to come in and take out this high and tap us a little bit deeper into that zone. Okay, so this right now is very nice liquidity. This right here is very nice liquidity as well. I was forecasting something similar on EU this week, which actually happened. All right, so we're gonna go on EU right now. But I mean, EU looks kind of exactly the same. I'm looking for shorts on EU and I'm looking for shorts on DXY. This does not make sense. Okay, so we have to be careful with the bias. But this is my Dixie, guys. I mean, nothing clear. I definitely would like to see this buy side liquidity taken right there. We have these equal highs. We have the structural liquidity right there. So this is where the market is currently responding from. Again, guys, liquidity video, right? Go back to the liquidity video. People selling from there, tries to push, fails, comes in again, tries to push, fails, comes in again, tries, comes in again, tries, right? All of those attempts to push down, those are orders. And those orders, when they run out, the market is gonna slap everybody that is short, and then maybe it's gonna give a reversal. Okay, so again, I'm gonna keep it plain and simple this week. Absolutely consolidation. This is still the low, this is still the high, right? I would expect the market to take out the liquidity right there, but of course I'm gonna be flowing with whatever happens. What I want to say is that again, we're cooking for something. If we have a look, like we just kind of went up, went down, went up, went down, no clear direction. So again, is it gonna be on Thursday's GDP? Is it gonna be on Wednesday's durable goods orders or something like this? We don't know. But again, guys, stay tuned for a shakeout, because when you see consolidation like this, not good. It's preparing for something. So DXY, no clear direction. I mean, overall bearish on the daily. We know that the weekly is kind of, yeah, it's even the weekly is not really bullish, right? We're definitely having a bearish dollar right now. Okay, so bearish dollar. So again, the overall direction we can expect is shorts. But first of all, that short move needs to be fueled by something. And I think that shakeout of the high could be the fuel for the market to continue pushing down. So let's see, that's the Dixie. Let's see how EU aligns with that. Well, let's look at the weekly candle in EU. It kind of actually makes me laugh. It's I haven't seen a small candle like this before. Well, not before. There is one like this, but it's so tiny, right? So tiny, so little move. So again, it's definitely cooking for something. We have that same situation. There's the mother candle. We have an inside bar right now, so we can expect a breakout in the direction that is gonna make sense. So again, to recap, we're having a weekly structure break right there. We're having a weekly bullish market coming from this low. So again, it makes sense for the market to initiate a pullback and then continue in terms of the weekly. So we can expect a bearish move, right? But if we have like that risk off sentiment, then the market can just continue pushing up if the dollar drops, right? So I mean, EU can continue pushing up, but let's see, right? Do we have the same situation here? Exactly, right? I sometimes have to definitely step back to the daily. This is why I love doing the weekly outlook, because usually on my day trading during the week, I never check daily, I never check weekly. All I do is like quick glance over the 4H and then I just stay on the 15 minutes, right? But you can see daily, it's bullish, break structure up, push, pull back, 50% has been fulfilled, right? And then again, we have 4 days of chop and inside bar. So we have a weekly inside bar and we have a daily inside bar. So again, that just says to us consolidation, okay? And then dropping right there, so very tricky to read. Okay, so if you remember, we're having a breakup structure right there that actually aligns the volatility to bearish in order to make that daily pullback. Okay, so there is your daily push. We can read the daily push on the 4H. Oh, come on, there's a daily push, 50% pullback. So right now what we have to be looking for is for the 4H to align bullish in order for us to align again with the daily and start taking longs. This to me right there is actually, it was also a valid break. So technically right now, this right here is our strong high that is supposed to kind of hold. But we have this supply stemming in from there. And again, look at this, right? So the market came in, reacted. And again, I've been forecasting these liquidity graphs all week with my team, right? And we actually kept shorting after every liquidity graph, right? So again, the market tapped, reacted, it didn't make a new low. So that's a weak high, came in, took it short, boom. Then this push failed to make a new low. Guess what? This is liquidity. Comes in, take it, boom, short, right? This push, this high failed to take a new low. Guess what? Liquidity came in, took it, right? And then again, gave a reaction. But again, this level has sell orders, right? And every single time that the market taps, sell orders are being used. Okay, so we have used too many sell orders, and I just get a feeling that we're gonna pump to the upside, right? But again, not clear. I mean, the volatility direction right now is just, yeah, sure, it's bearish right now. This is the high, this is the low, but again, it's just nonsense. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna keep it very simple. Wait for something to happen. Wait for the market to break up. Wait for it to break down. Don't force it too much within this range. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it like this right now. Short outlook on EU, and we're gonna catch up on Tuesday. Hopefully by Tuesday something happens. I really hope so. And hard time to get entries. I mean, very tight Asian ranges, right? Took out the high, took out the low, took out the high, took out the low, the high, the low, right? It just keeps going up and down and up and down and up and down. Luckily for us, we managed to capitalize on a very simple trade. So again, This trade was built up by this liquidity graph again. So we came into the liquidity in Asia, aligned trend change down, lower high, lower low. Then the market came in around around London Open, tapped into the supply that caused the structure break, and it also gave us a beautiful 1 minute entry setup. Very simple. All right, so it came in right here. Break up, break down, TC down, quick retest, very tight stop loss. And what I did is I just took I actually first took, I think my stop loss maybe could have been a bit bigger. You can see my MT4 stats, I'm really not sure. But first I took 3R. I took like, I don't know, 70% of 3R, and then I took everything at 4R. Why? But because if I get 3 and 4R in this choppy conditions, I'm very happy. Very, very, very happy. And again, knowing that I'm on a big losing streak, I was, but not anymore. I need some profit in order to put an end to it and to kind of recover a little bit. But again, then it was really good to see that if you actually left a runner, it went quite nice. But again, let's not be unrealistic. Nobody usually leaves a runner like this. Usually somebody's gonna come in and, yo, look at my 14R trade. No, I took 3R, right? And yes, the move was massive, but again, I took my 3R. That's it. I'm happy with it, and I don't feel FOMO for the market massively running down. So pretty much, guys, that's my only trade for this week. That's my only trade. I saw nothing else. No indices, no EU, nothing. So again, I'm very happy with this. Put an end to my losing streak, made some profit. Hopefully next week is gonna roll a little bit better so we can have some clean setups. But I mean, just look at this price. Not good. I mean, if you're trading line of manipulation and stuff like breakout, breakdown, breakup, breakdown, it's fine, but not clear. So wrapping it up here, stay tuned for Tuesday. Let's have a look at Euro Yen. So weekly time frame here, we have kind of a very similar to EU, a very small week this week. Nothing moved, right? So again, just to recap, that is the strong low on the weekly, and potentially this is where we're headed towards the week high. The market is coming in very close towards it. Dropping onto the daily time frame, well, we're currently sitting at a massive high. Okay, so since the 6th of April, we pushed massively up, and right now we're just kind of accumulating on top. What I like is Friday's candle. It kind of came very nicely down and rejected massively. So did this one make kind of a probably higher low, or did it come in to just grab some liquidity? Because what I can immediately see is that there was a lot of liquidity right there on the 4H. Flat lows got taken. So can we expect right now for the market to continue pushing up? And again, just to keep a line like this is potentially our target. So then dropping onto the 4H, yeah, you can see very flat. I mean, it keeps going up, right? So making higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows. But there comes a time that the market just rolls off some positions and comes out to stop out everybody that is currently trailing their position. So this is why, again, guys, it's always important, take profits, pay yourself. So in terms of 4H, let's have a look. I mean, this is very choppy, but let's try to break it down. The last structure break was here. What caused the break? It was here. So technically we have a trend change down there. What caused this trend change? According to me and according to my rules, this is the high, but according to somebody else, it could be this high. Okay, so if we take both situations, you can first say that we're already bullish, or you can say that we're still bearish. Okay, so that's when the conflict of interest comes in. Okay, what is valid structure? And again, I have very systematic rules for that, but I'm not sharing them here. They're only for my private members. Personally, I look at the market like this. Okay, so this is not yet a shift, but again, definitely it could be. So we're still tapping into supply. But again, just sometimes it actually makes sense. You also have to be a little bit fluid. So in this case, knowing what the daily candle did, grabbed all that liquidity, knowing that we're absolutely bullish on the daily and on the 4-hourly time frame, there is a high chance we might actually break this level. Okay, but there is also a high chance we might initiate a bigger daily pullback, because again, remember, like weekly and daily, this could be the leg, and right, it might need some sort of a pullback. So again, stay open, don't get married to a certain outcome. So if this was like a weekly, right, Tuesday or Wednesday trading right now, I would personally be looking for the 50-minute to really show me direction right there and show me a signal that it actually wants to go down. So far, what it did is a push and a pullback. So pretty much my low is right there. Okay, so what I would be looking for, to take out the high, to consolidate, to make a nice downtrend, and then I'm gonna start shorting. So even though I am bearish on the 4H right now and I'm gonna be looking to short from here, that does not mean I'm actually gonna take a short. Okay, because again, I always have signals. So this is how I look at it right now. Again, let's just consider both outcomes. It can definitely shift bullish. We can have like a little retracement and then the market can smash up. Or of course, we can have like this tap inside, a 50-minute shift, and we can also take a short. So that's AJ, not entirely clean, right? So again, stay open to both outcomes. Stay open that on Friday we have interest rate, monetary policy statement, and press conference for the JPY. So the yen pairs could be a bit tricky, okay? Because if we have a week with interest rate on a currency, it's usually choppy. So that's EJ, not very clean. I'm not gonna throw any kind of bias. Let's just see how it opens, and then of course we're gonna catch up on Tuesday. Well, first glance at Aussie weekly time frame. I mean, yeah, of course we can analyze like the overall structure. We kind of broke up here, and then we technically shifted down right there on the weekly. But just zoom in and see what's happening. I mean, this is 5 weeks of just wicks up and down and up and down and up and down. No clear direction. So what is happening? What is it waiting for? I don't know. All right, we're having again an inside bar. So this week was absolutely choppy on all pairs. I mean, let me know how you guys did this week. I'm feeling really lucky for actually just taking one trade and it being a win. So then dropping on the daily, I mean, here I'm getting even more confused, right? Because according to me, like there was a structure break here and then we broke down there, but then again, we broke up here. So this is a textbook example of consolidating markets. So that's what they do. They take the high, they take the low, they take the high, they take the low, and they just keep staying in the range. So again, don't draw any direction right now, because most likely right now you're going to say, okay, that's my high, okay, and that's my higher low, but the market is going to break your higher low, and then it's going to return back into the consolidation. So extremely objectively though, yes, this is a structure break right there. The market pulled back, as you can see, it pulled back to 50%, tried to react, but failed. So right now, technically this low is weak. Oh yeah, it already got taken. So yeah, liquidity just got taken. So is it going to hold from like, let's say from a zone like that? Right? Or is it going to just reverse to the downside and take out this low as liquidity? So we got to see. And then dropping onto 4H. So again, guys, from last week, if you remember, I told you this is the last structure break. This is the demand, right? And actually on Monday, it looked good. It came in, it gave a long, but then it came back again. It gave a long, came back again. It looked really promising right there. And then it just smashed down. Okay, so as you can see, we are still staying within this major high low right there. So that's quite funny. I mean, I really don't think it's gonna hold. But again, whole week, we did not make a new hourly range. We just stayed within this kind of this low and this high. So let's see. I mean, I definitely think this low can get taken because again, as I told you on another pair, the market comes in, buys from there, buys from there, and buys from there. So how many buys are there to keep trying to push the market up without actually taking the liquidity? So I definitely do think that we could be heading to take this low as liquidity, and then as we tap inside this daily zone, that is where it's going to be really important to, okay, let's see what's going to happen. Is the 4-hourly time frame going to shift and provide us a bullishness, or is it just going to continue dropping? So again, Aussie dollar, simple analysis is actually exactly the same as last week, right? That's still the higher low, but the market really showed us that it fails to push up. So I definitely get the feeling that this low is going to get taken. And after it gets taken, then of course we just have to adapt and see what is going to happen. So again, this is what we're going to be doing later this week. In terms of the 50-minute, I mean, I think my team took a couple of trades, but I think the win rate on Aussie dollar right now is really low because again, there was that short right there on Monday, and then the rest of the week, I mean, it just did not provide, right? None of the pairs provided this week. So again, let's not try to force it. Let's just wait to see what's gonna happen, and then of course we're gonna flow with it. And again, keep in mind, guys, just to remind you, Wednesday CPI. So that is maybe what the Aussie will be waiting for. Okay, so let's see. AJ also, like the JPY, actually UJ had a little bit of a shift of structure. And again, you can see like all of that, how flat it is, right? So see, the market took the market, what is that? 6 days and 26 bars to make this move up. And it took the market 4 bars. Yeah, so 26 bars, and then it took the market 4 bars to actually break all of this structure down. So definitely there is lots of momentum to the downside coming in. In terms of the weekly, yes, AJ is down, it pulls back. We are above 50% on the weekly. Daily time frame is kind of still bullish, although that's to me a structure break, and that's to me a bearish structure break. Okay, we're having some sort of a shift in structure. We can say that even the daily, although I don't have structure rules on the daily, we can probably say that this is a break of structure down. The 4-hourly time frame has definitely introduced a break of structure down right there. For those of you that are following very closely, what do I always say about the first trend change? So let me know, right? What do I always say? Well, I'm gonna tell you again because I'm kind, right? After the first trend change, do not expect a 50% pullback. Although this one already got it. Usually the first trend change, you get a very shallow pullback and then just the market starts rolling. So what I could expect first thing this week is for us to get a short. Okay, so maybe if we're lucky, we can get like a little bit of a push up and then shift down and then start dropping. But usually again, as you have that first push and it creates a trend change, especially don't expect for your supply zone to be tapped, right? 50%, maybe 30%, definitely, right? So let's see if we can gonna have a new volley lower low and if we can actually catch a short to ride this little downtrend to the downside. So let's see, right? Those are the Aussies. Aussie dollar, definitely not clean. Aussie JPY showing us a little bit of bearish sentiment. Let's see if we can follow it. All right, next on the list are the NZDs. And again, at first glance, we're having a bearish candle right there. So definitely much better than EU, AU, and all the USD pairs. So we broke up on the weekly, we broke down on the weekly, we pulled back 50%. Great. So next target is down there. Let's actually make it a bold line. That's the low we have to take, and that's the... No, that is not yet a lower high because the lower high forms after a lower low forms, right? So this is actually our current major lower high. Again, 50% pullback. Let's see if you can actually drop and make a new low. Daily time frame, again, aligned right there. Probably I told you last week, hopefully. We push down, we pull back 50% again, retesting daily supply. It came in very aggressively. Oh, that is actually last week. So I'm okay. So maybe I should have covered this last week. Maybe, I don't recall. Came in aggressively, went out aggressively. So we had a new structure break. And then we have supply within this big buy and then sell. But again, you can see the market just kind of very shallowly pulled back, not even 50%. And right now kept going on and made a new daily breakout structure. So this is currently our daily lower high. Dropping on the FOH. Yeah, I mean, this one definitely looks good. So as I told you guys, I mean, last week, NZD-USD actually broke down on the FOH. So that was the pair that was actually bearish. Then we broke down, we broke up, then we chopped for a little bit, broke up again, broke down. So it's choppy, but again, if you just wait for it, there's a structure break, there's supply, the market taps inside, and there is your short, right, as well. So if you took this short, that's your short, okay? New structure break on the FOH, new lower high on the FOH. So again, you can see right now the confusion between timeframes. That's your daily lower high, but that's your hourly lower high. So which one are you going to listen to? Okay, that's why you don't want to be using way too many timeframes because you're going to get that conflict. So we asked the question, where is price right now? It's at a lower low. What makes sense? It makes sense for it to pull back. Okay, so there's our range, high to low, 50% is right here. Again, two things could happen. We can either definitely initiate a pullback and then get a short, or the market can just kind of open and then flush and then just continue dropping towards the week low on the weekly. Okay, so the bias on NU is definitely shorts, Again, the question is, okay, how do we get in? So on the FOH, are we going to have like a pullback and then get a short on the 15-minute, or are we just going to dump to the downside? So I don't like this positioning of price right now, so I'm definitely not going to be shorting from here. Again, in order for me to short, I also need the 4-hourly time frame confluence. So if it pulls back a little bit, give me a 4-hourly pullback, tap around 50%, or at least get above the 30%, because this is, it says 70, but it's actually 30, right? So get above this level, and then if it provides me a short, I could be interested. Okay, so NZD-USD, definitely nice structure, definitely bearish. So if you're trading EU, GU, AU, NU right now is actually the best looking pair. So let's see how it's going to work out. Projection is this weekly low. Oh, look at that, lovely. So definitely NZD is definitely weak. Again, broke structure down, pullback, lower high. Very nice weekly candle. It's not an inside bar. It's a very nice weekly bearishness right there. Daily time frame. Yeah, so daily is kind of tricky. So I'm not going to look on the daily because we're going to get confused. Okay, because on daily it broke here and then it pushed up, pulls back. So technically we're still trading within this range. It's out 50%. It tried to push, failed. Then technically this was a liquidity grab. But then if you look on the daily, the market is going to be still bullish. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of transfer onto the FOH with ignoring the daily, and I'm gonna say that we have a new structure break right there. I mean, a trend change. What do I always tell you about the first trend change? No big pullback, 30% pulls back, massive short, right? Massive short right there. There's a new structure break. There's our new recent lower high, you can take the whole supply area level like this, and the market is already kind of giving us a 50% pullback. So again, guys, AJ and NJ definitely look like shorts. EJ also, but this one is slightly bit more bullish. But again, I see the vibe that the JPYs are bearish, and right now I'm gonna transfer onto UJ to actually see that this is the pair that drives the most. So again, guys, NU bearish, NJ bearish, definitely looking good. Let's see if we can catch some shorts. Let's have a look at UJ. So again, just to recap, we're having a weekly structure break right there. What caused this break? It is this high K, very close to actually get broken, but it did not. It actually held. This is our weekly supply. The market reacted. It failed to actually cause a new low, and right now it's giving us a very kind of corrective pullback. Okay, so two things could happen. Usually in this case, we're either gonna be, oops, what did I do? We're either gonna be taking out the high, because again, this high failed to put out a new low, so usually it becomes weak, or we're just kind of slowly pulling back to grab even more liquidity from the supply zone and then sell again. Okay, so I think the sell is more likely, so I don't think this market is gonna go up, but again, it's not about what I think, it's about what happens. Daily time frame shifted bullish here, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high right there, and currently we're still kind of bullish on the daily, which I don't like. There is a very nice structural liquidity right there. It actually got smacked. Okay, so although daily is still bullish, if the 4-hourly turns bearish, I can confidently say that we can start looking for the shorts, right? So look at the liquidity, just pink, massive reaction, and then actually went on and broke the 4-hourly structure down. So currently, yes, I would say according to my rules, that is our range. And again, like our major supply, you can take the major supply like this, like a big buy, and then it started selling up. This right there is not, it's a nice base, but it's not valid structure according to me. So shorts looks exactly the same as all the JPYs and also EJ, right? It looks a little bit more bullish than it is bearish, but we have that recent shift of structure. So very curious. I mean, I'm not really going to throw a big forecast to say, yo, right, guys, we are short. Because usually, again, as I tell you, a trend occurs after two structure breaks. So there's your trend change, there's your second break, then you can say, all right, definitely a downtrend. Because what could be happening right now is we have a trend change. Let's just do it like this. And then usually sometimes the market does this. Okay, so in this case, that would be this. Boom, boom, take out the high. So let's see, don't get married to a certain outcome, but I have a feeling overall from all the JPYs we had a look at, and UJ is also confirming we're having a little bit of a bearish sentiment. So if we kind of pull back again right there, and if we start giving some sell signals, I will be interested to take a short on UJ and of course on all the JPY pairs. So let's see. Let me know, guys, what you think about UJ. I know a lot of you love JPY pairs. Let me know if you're a short bias and which is your favorite pair for next week. Looking at UCAT, we're having a nice bullish, it's not really a bullish engulfing candle. Again, it depends on how you look at bullish engulfing candles. Again, some rules say it has to engulf the complete candle. The complete previous candle. Some rules say it has to engulf the body. It depends, but what we actually see from the weekly candle is we're having a very nice bullishness right there. So again, could it be just like a little pullback in order for us to continue dropping lower? Because again, we've been calling this level for quite a while, because this level is a weak level. It did not cause a break, then it pulled back again, it did not cause a break again, so technically this is also weak and this one is also weak. So again, why does it take so long to get broken? I don't know, right? Dropping on the day, I mean, yeah, even the daily right now is shifting kind of bullish, okay? Or it could be just a liquidity grab. Again, the thing with liquidity grabs is you don't know until it happens, okay? So again, to me right now, this is why I started taking weeks as breaks, and I started taking every week as a break, because you cannot forecast as much like if it's gonna be a liquidity grab. Right, so again, right there, imagine you were right here. How do you know like if this is a liquidity gap or not? Well, again, I just a structure break for me, push, pull back, higher low, right? It continues. How do you know if this is not a liquidity gap? Well, we took it out, but then it came in, it actually responded from the strong low that caused the break. Okay, so again, this is how I personally do it. You can do it anyhow you want. But again, to me right now, this is gonna be a break, which again, I don't entirely like, but let's check it out how it looks like. The 4-hourly time frame had the major structure right here. We just came on and we actually broke it, and we just continue to roll to the upside. We have a new structure break here, and technically this is our last 4-hourly demand zone. So if UCAT is gonna go up, well, let's follow it. Again, what I would love to see is a tap inside this zone and then a lower time frame confirmation. This is very simply how I'm gonna be looking at this pair right now. Okay, it doesn't tend to pull back very deep from what I've seen on UCAT. This is why I just don't trade this pair. I never understood it, never took a trade on it, but I keep breaking it down. But this is how I look at it. Okay, so we took out major liquidity on the day. That can definitely initiate a bigger pullback. So I would expect that this one is gonna pull us back towards 50% and maybe give us a long. So UCAT traders, let me know what you think. Do you think we're gonna continue going long, or do you think we're actually still gonna target these lows right there? So let me know, but this is how I currently look at it. Flowing with the market, it's bullish, so let's try to go long. As with all the USD pairs, GU did not move as much this week. Again, if we really zoom in, we're having an inside bar similar to all USD pairs, as I said, and yeah, we did not move as much. So once again, we just broke that weekly high, and again, this should be our strong low. But again, looking at how the market moves nowadays, it takes out the high, it takes out the low, it takes out the high, and then it goes on and takes out the low. Okay, so again, anything could happen. Dropping on the day, I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna skip GU because what can I say, right? Yeah, there was a break of structure up right here. So technically, yes, this is supposed to be the daily strong low. Well, this one is supposed to be like the week high, but again, it can just break down. We never know. If we check the 4H, yeah, so we had broke up here, we had a shift of structure down there, and then here it really depends. I personally don't think there is a valid range right there, a valid lower high. We're just like kind of up, down, up, down, up, down. No. Yeah, no, guys, this is giving me a hard time. So technically, if I'm really objective, like this should be the range, and we're technically still bearish, pulling back above 50%, and we should be looking actually for this low to be taken right there. But again, then you have a conflict because the daily is bullish, but pretty much what we have right now is just the complete choppiness right there. So GU, wait for something to happen. I mean, definitely not tradable, and probably on the 15-minute is gonna be like, yeah, Asia, down, up, down, boom, close. Asia, up, down, boom, close, right? Asia, here it actually went down a little bit, but again, not clean. So again, skipping GU, waiting for clear direction. GJ. Yeah, well, similar to all the JPY pairs, again, just to be quick, there is a break of structure down, aligned bearish. Of course, we're gonna have, yeah, some sort of a supply, which is gonna be exactly this guy. There is our supply. It's already coming in with big steam towards that supply. So let's see how it's gonna come in right there, and if it's actually gonna hold. We had a look at the JPY pairs look quite bearish, but you can see also GJ is right now having actually a break of structure up on the daily, and it's responding from a demand zone on the daily. So again, immediately you have that kind of conflict right there. Is it going to respond from daily demand and push up, or is it going to listen to that recent shift of forward structure and a shift of kind of the JPY sentiment towards the downside? So again, let's see, stay open to both outcomes. So if the market comes in right there, take your short, take your 3R, close your trade, and then just wait to see what's going to happen. Okay, you don't need to be right 100% of the times, and you also don't need to be catching like the whole freaking move in order to make money. All you need is just a little move, boom, take your 3R, goodbye, next day. Okay, so that's the GBPs. GU, absolutely no trade, right? GJ could look for shorts to see if it's actually gonna hold like all the JPYs, but I think like AJ and NJ are much better pairs to actually go short. So let's see. That's the GBPs, keeping it very simple. Let's have a look at GOAT. We're having an overall kind of looks like a pullback week. It's definitely bearish. And right now it depends on how you look at structure. This could be your breakout structure right now on the weekly, and then this is your kind of weekly higher low demand. Or of course you can say that this is your weekly higher low demand stemming from this breakout structure. Depends on how you look at structure, okay? But again, just to say the weekly time frame is right now bullish. Then you go on the daily, you have a break of the high, and then you have a break of the low. So technically the daily has shifted bearish. So this is where you have to start, you start getting that confusion between all the time frames you're using. This is why I always use just 4 hour and 50-minute. And then, yeah, I mean, if you just follow the 4 hour and 50-minute this week, you're absolutely crushed it, because there was a breakout structure right there. That was a trend change. What I always tell you about the first trend change that occurs, going back to previous pair, 30% pullback, 30% tap, new structure break. So that should have been a profitable trade. Then again, on the next one, you usually get the retest of supply. There it is. That happened on Tuesday. Massive drop again. And then it came on to sweep the high, technically making like a structure break, right? If I'm just draw it like that, there's our structure break. But then immediately after this, so this is when you can say, ah, right, it's a liquidity grab. Why? Well, because it broke, and then immediately the next thing it did afterwards, it's to break down. Okay, so it looks like a V shape. It broke down, broke up, broke down, pulls back, and continues to go down. So currently, I mean, if I just to throw a bias, well, of course, it looks more bearish than it looks bullish. This is currently the range that we're at right now. I don't like this type of base right there. It definitely looks like this. Yeah, so this can be a potential shorting area because it's within the 50%. This low we can definitely target because it looks like right now it's a reaction area. The market tapped inside. Right now you can see it's starting to react, and then hopefully it's going to continue going down. So I am definitely bearish bias on gold. Although I know on the 50-minute it doesn't look good right now from Friday's close. Yeah, we just had this range, the market manipulated and just broke down. So technically right now, this is our high, that's our low, and everything that is going to happen between this range is going to be internal. Okay, so not the best current positioning of price, but I'm going to say that I'm looking for shorts on gold, and let's see if this low is going to get taken. So guys, in the comments, let me know what you're looking for. Is it shorts? Is it longs? Do you think we're going to be making another lower low on gold, or do you think it's any time so we can start pushing up? Of course, this depends on the Dixie. If Dixie is going to go risk off, right, and just continue dropping, gold is going to go up. But maybe if the Dixie starts massively appreciating, then of course gold is going to go down. So let me know what you think in the comments. And yeah, I'm personally more sell bias than buys. Let's have a look at the indices starting from US 30. Very choppy week. I mean, if I zoom in, you can see we're having an overall bearish week, but then as we start to transition towards the lower time frames, you're going to see that we did not move as much. So again, just to remind ourselves again there, it was only US 30 that actually caused some sort of a break on the weekly time frame. Okay, and technically still the weekly right now is bullish. We pull back at the 50%. It looks like it wants to drive higher towards breaking this high. Okay, but again, there are a lot of moving parts right now. There are so many structural levels. There are so many zones going on. I still keep this one, although I might actually remove it because it's not really relevant right now. The daily time frame is also bullish. There's the daily break. It formed this base, it pushed up, right? And right now we technically pull back a little bit towards this daily demand. So then dropping onto the FOH, you can see the FOH not clean. Okay, so on the FOH we have like this break up, this breakdown, then it wicked up, then it wicked down. Okay, and then yeah, technically it made the lower high, lower low, lower high, and right now, yeah, right now it's bearish, as I have indicated right there. I have an analysis already. That's the lower high, that's the lower low, and yeah, you can see the market actually pulled back. It tried to push, it failed. So what does that mean? That's liquidity, right? Again, it pushed up, it tried to push down, it failed, and then it came in and swept it, just like at the end of the mark. Yeah, what's that? Yeah, it looks like we just kind of came in and swept everybody that was maybe running shorts. They got swept massively with slippage. So that's why, guys, don't leave trades over the weekend. Okay, so that's your story. I'm more sells than I'm buys, but am I gonna trade it? No. I haven't taken a trade in US 30 in a while because it's just not moving good. I don't like it, right? And then of course going on to Nasdaq, guess what? So weekly time frame, we're having a little bit of a bearishness right there. We're tapping inside that weekly supply. Okay, so can we start dropping lower? Maybe, but then dropping onto the daily, look at that. That's the last daily structure break. That's the last demand. And what do we have right now is 14 bars or 2 weeks of chop. Right? Can you trade this? Sure. I mean, you can zoom in and say, yeah, break up, then break down, short, break down, break down, break up, long, down, right, up, down, short, down, or short, right? You can definitely do this. You can zoom in. But again, I don't intraday trade Nasdaq, so I'm not zoomed in on it, right? I look for clear direction. I look for clear trending markets. But again, don't get me wrong. There are opportunities. I mean, if we just have a look at the most recent price action, there was like a little breakdown right there. Pulls back lower high, lower low. Then it came in and, yeah, swept this little guy. And then immediately came on and broke this. So aligned bearish. Then there is your supply zone. And there is your short trade. Came on short. Immediately broke down. And pulls back, and then it kind of wicked down again, and then it wicked up again. I mean, there is your trade, and right now what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna wait for something clear. Okay, but again, just keep in mind it's very choppy, so don't get stuck in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so that's Nasdaq. Again, be very, very, very careful. And S&P kind of the same story. I mean, pulling back towards that weekly supply, been bullish for quite a while. On the daily time frame, we're still bullish. We broke up here. We have some sort of a, let's say, daily demand zone like that. We had like a little push up, and then we started pushing down. Quality time frame, again, choppy. Could you have taken trades? Yes. Broke up, right? Then broke down, pulls back, lower high, lower low. Then it came in similar to NASDAQ. It kind of swept this high. Then it came on and broke this low, then had like the supply. It pulls back, lower high, lower low. And again, it's just that kind of wick right there that we had on the market close. So I am not going to be throwing any biases on this, right? The market to me is not clear. It's just kind of going up and down, up and down, up and down. Are there setups? Yes, right? So if you intraday trade, if you're on the 50-minute, right, looking for liquidity grabs and sweeps and all that sort of stuff, it's good, it works, right? But if you look for clear trending markets, not right now, okay? If I just transfer you quickly to the fear and greed index, we're currently chopping around the greed, right? You can see on the timeline, we have been kind of rejecting from the greed, and everything, like everything is in greed. Extreme greed, greed, neutral, extreme greed, right? Everything is greedy. So just by looking at this, we can start expecting some sort of a downside, okay? But like something has to trigger that downside. So is it going to be like the GDP this week? Is it going to be like something that is incoming? We don't know. But again, according to me right now, indices not really good pairs or instruments to be traded. But again, intraday on the lower time frames, you always get setups. So just be careful that we're stuck in big consolidations. Crypto is dropping, so we tapped like 31k. We're very nicely withdrawing back down. So if you want to stack up, if you're investing, so if you're from down right there, it's good like on any to buy on any dip. But you also want to be looking for like for liquidity grabs, right? Because you can see here a lot of people bought from this demand, but then the demand got swapped and then we started moving. So also think of this. This right there could be a better area to look for long, which is kind of a 50% on the weekly leg. There it is, right? But again, don't trade crypto. I don't trade crypto. I don't invest in it right now. So just looking at it to see how it's gonna be developing, because it's very nice. I mean, even for intraday trading, if you get like a nice trendy markets, you can definitely like go on the lower time frame and start trend following it, definitely. But again, I don't do this. So Bitcoin having a little bit of a dip. Let's see if it's gonna reach around 25k, which I think is gonna be a good buy. Ethereum as well. Ethereum kind of pulling back towards that 50% on the weekly leg. So again, keep in mind, this is the weekly leg. There is the 50%. We're coming in very close. If we definitely go towards 1k or even towards 800, that is when I will be interested to buy. Okay, so no buys for me right now. So yeah, but let's see how it's gonna develop. I'm very curious. Let me know if you guys actually invested in crypto, if you're riding some of these from these lows. Let me know. Very curious to hear. So I want to wrap it up right here. Hopefully you enjoyed the analysis, learned something, and you got prepared for the next week. Let me know how you performed this week. What did you learn? What kind of trades did you have? And let me know what your best pair is looking like for next week. Wishing you an awesome weekend, wishing you a crushing week ahead of you, and talk to you on Tuesday.